Hi, it's Corey, and today you're going to learn how to play Speechless from Aladdin. A few things before we get started. There's a lot of construction going on outside my apartment, so hopefully you can't hear any of that. This is kind of also a part 2 to the video of last week where I kind of took you along on my process of how I actually learned songs in the hope of helping you to better learn songs, like any song that you want to learn. And then also, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to this channel. I put out new videos on ukulele and music every week. And so if you like videos like this one, make sure to subscribe and also give me that like button. Hopefully if you liked it, it really helps to support my channel and to help me grow. So thank you so much for that in advance. All right, let's get into it. So for Speechless from Aladdin, something to keep in mind, the original key for this song is an F minor. We are actually going to lower it a half step to E minor. That way it's a little bit of an easier range for us to sing, and also the chords are a little bit easier that way as well. In total, we're gonna need only 6 chords, which I know you're probably thinking only, but it's actually not gonna be that bad because a lot of these are pretty common chords. There's only one partially barred chord, and that's the B major. So I think you're gonna have a really easy time with this. And then you're also gonna be presented with a few different ways how you can play. Now, always you can take this at a really basic level and just play on the chord changes, or just use a really basic on the beat strumming pattern. But I'm gonna show you a couple tips and tricks on how to make this a little bit more stylistic when working on your cover. So let's get into it. As always, the first thing you wanna do is make sure your ukulele's in tune. So that's gonna be a G on the 4th string, a C on the 3rd string, an E on the 2nd string, and then an A on the 1st string. Once your ukulele is in tune, let's look at the chords you're gonna be using. So the first chord we're gonna be using, and actually the one that we use the most in the song, is gonna be the E minor. To make an E minor, you're gonna take your first finger, place it on the 1st string, 2nd fret. Your second finger is gonna go on the 2nd string, 3rd fret, and then your third finger is gonna go on the 3rd string on the 4th fret. The next chord we're going to use is a C major. For that, you just take your 3rd finger and then place it on the first string, 3rd fret. You're also going to need an A minor for this song, so you're going to take your 2nd finger and place it on the 4th string, 2nd fret. You'll need a D major for that, and so what you're going to do is all along on the 2nd fret, take your 1st, 2nd, and 3rd finger. You're gonna take your 1st finger on the 4th string, your 2nd finger on the 3rd string, and then your 3rd finger on the 2nd string. You're also gonna need a G major. For that, you're gonna take your 1st finger, place it on the 2nd fret, 3rd string. Your 2nd finger is gonna go on the 2nd fret, 1st string, and then your 3rd finger is gonna go right between the two on the next fret down on the 3rd fret, 2nd string. And then finally we have the B major, and this is probably the most difficult chord we have in the song. If you're familiar with a B flat, which is right here, it's actually just a fret down. So what you're gonna do is take your 1st finger and you're gonna bar along the 1st and 2nd strings on the 2nd fret, then take your 2nd finger, place it on the 3rd string of the 3rd fret, and take your 3rd finger and place it on the 4th string of the 4th fret. So make sure you practice all your chords, get really comfortable with them, and then when you're ready for that, let's go into the strumming pattern. For this song, we're actually gonna be using 3 different strumming patterns or styles of playing. We're gonna be utilizing a little bit of picking, a little bit of a picking pattern, and then some strumming and an optional chuck. So for the verses, what we're gonna be doing is on your ukulele, we're gonna be playing on the top 3 strings. So that's strings 1, 2, and 3. Whenever you have a chord change, rather than strumming on that chord, you're going to pluck. So for instance, the first line is E minor, then C, then D major, then back to E minor. All I'm doing here is taking my thumb on my 3rd string, my 1st finger on the 2nd string, and then my 2nd finger on the 1st string, and I'm just giving it a little pluck out. So again, pluck. So the whole progression for like the first line, for instance, would be E minor, C, D, E minor. You're going to continue doing that until you get to Taking Me Under. Now on the E minor there, we're going to pluck and then play thumb 1, 2, or the strings would be 3, 2, 1. So for that, the whole progression would sound like this. E minor, C, D, E minor, C, then D, E minor, 3, 2, 1. Okay? So again, what you're doing here is taking your thumb, your first finger, and your second finger, placing your thumb on the third string, your first finger on the second string, and then your second finger on the first string. You're plucking those strings as you play the chords with your left hand, and then when you get through the whole progression down to Taking Me Under on the E minor, you're going to pluck and then pick 3, 2, 1. You're gonna follow that same pattern until you get to the end of the first verse where you have My voice drowned out in thunder. Now on that D, rather than doing the same thing we did on the E minor of pluck 3, 2, 1, we're not gonna go pluck 3, 2, 1. We're just going to strum, okay? That strumming is going to lead us into the pre-chorus, of which we'll have a down, down, up, down strumming pattern. That down, down, up, down strumming pattern is one of the most common. It's also called the island strum if you're familiar with that. So what that will sound like is something like this, and I'll have the lead in to the pre-chorus. So we have My voice drowned out in the thunder to the pre-chorus, but I won't start to crumble whenever I try. Shut me or cut me, and then to that B, down, and you're not going to strum on that. You could if you want, but I think it's a nice separation between the pre-chorus and the chorus to just have a strum, and then you'll go into the main chorus. So again, to review, you're transitioning from the verse using that D chord, strumming, and then having a down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, repeating that pattern. And that strumming pattern is going to be the same that you're going to be using for the chorus as well, but we're going to add a chuck. So when you have that down, down, up, down pattern, you're changing chords as you normally would until you get to the B at the end of the pre-chorus, of which you're just going to let ring until you're ready to transition into the regular chorus. When we get to the regular chorus, what you're going to be doing is pretty much the exact same thing as you did in the pre-chorus. The difference is you're going to be adding a chuck if you choose. So what that will be is rather than down, down, up, down, it'll be down, chuck, up, chuck. So basically what you're doing is you're exchanging all of the downs after the first down with a chuck instead. So that would sound something like this. I won't be silent, you can't keep me quiet, won't tremble when you try it. And then at this point, what you're gonna do is on the All I Know Is I Won't Go Speechless, rather than doing the strumming pattern, you're just gonna hit those on the chord. So it'll sound like this. All I know is I won't go speechless. And then you'll go right back into the chucking pattern of, 'cause I'll breathe when they try to suffocate me. After playing on the chords for All I Know Is I Won't Go Speechless, you'll go back into the strumming pattern, and that will sound like this. 'Cause I'll breathe when they try to suffocate me. Don't you underestimate me. And just like from before, you're gonna play on the chord changes for that last section of 'cause I know that I won't go speechless. At that point, we're gonna go into verse 2. You're going to copy all the same techniques that you did for verse 1, again, using the picking at the end of the first progression and then the strum leading into the pre-chorus. When you get to the second pre-chorus, again, you're gonna follow the same pattern and play on the down, down, up, down, no chucks. If you choose to use a chuck, that's totally an option as well. And then when you get to the chorus, you're gonna copy all the same things that you did from the first chorus. Now, after this chorus, you get to the bridge. Now for that, I say just do the exact same thing. The difference here though is when you get to hear the echo saying, I would just play that C and let it ring as you have a nice vocal moment. If you don't want to really focus on the singing as much and you just want to get to the next chorus, you can, however, just continue playing it regular with the chucks, and then you'd be fine. So that bridge would sound something like this. Try to lock me in this cage, I will just lay me down and die. I will take these broken wings and watch me burn across the sky. Hear the echo saying I, and then go back into the chorus. And then you'll continue going. From here, you'll just continue the same patterns that we had with the chorus until you get to the end of the song, repeating all I know is I won't go speechless, and then the progression changes a little bit for that A minor. So we have all I know is I won't go speechless, speechless. And then what you can do for that outro there, you can just alternate between that E minor and C, sounding like this. And then at the end, you can add the little plucking of or picking of 3, 2, 1, and then that ends your song. So if any of these sections didn't quite make sense, what I would really recommend doing, and I'll have a card somewhere, is check out that kind of part 1 that I did when I was going through this for the first time, sort of learning it and making decisions of what stylistic things I wanted to use. It's a much longer video than like a regular tutorial. I think like it's actually probably my longest one at like 25 minutes, but it has a lot of really useful information, and it goes into this a lot slower as well, breaking apart the different sections of the music. Another option is always just watching the playthrough to kind of get an idea of what I'm adding and then trying it yourself, okay? So let's go into the playthrough. I'm gonna pull you closer so you can see what I'm doing with my hands and the chord changes, and let's give it a go. 1, 2, here we go. Here comes a wave meant to wash me away, a tide that is taking me under, swallowing sand left with nothing to say, my voice drowned out in the thunder. But I won't cry, I won't start to crumble whenever they try to shut me or cut me down. I won't be silenced, you can't keep me quiet, won't tremble when you try it. All I know is I won't go speechless, 'cause I'll breathe when they try to suffocate me. Don't you underestimate me. All I know is I won't go speechless. Written in stone, every word, centuries old, unbending. Stay in your place, better seen and not heard. Well, now that story's ending, 'cause I cannot start to crumble. So come on and try to shut me or cut me down. I won't be silenced, you can't keep me quiet, won't tremble when you try it. All I know is I won't go speechless. Let the storm in learning how to play Speechless from Aladdin. I think this is a really fun song, and what's kind of cool about it is while it's from Aladdin, I think it actually is a really like all around good song. You could play this on the radio and I think people would think it's just like an awesome pop ballad too. So I think that's a really cool aspect of this song. So if you really like this song, you found it helpful and you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe, give me a like, comment down below. Let me know actually too if you enjoyed the movie Aladdin. I don't know, I've been a little bit critical about the remakes and I really want to give them a shot, but I've really been struggling because I'm just such a fan of the older ones. So I'm kind of interested to see what other people are thinking. I think Aladdin's really fun, the remake of it, but I'm just not a fan, honestly, of some of the pop elements and also some of like there's some like pretty heavy like R&B like backbeats on some of the songs, like A Whole New World, for instance. I don't know. I just really like the classics, but I'm curious to see what you liked. If there's a song that you're working on that you'd like some help with, make sure to comment down on that below as well. I love reading your comments, and that's where I get pretty much all of the ideas for my videos. It's by you telling me what you want to see. A lot of people lately have been asking for a lot more Steven Universe songs, so I'm gonna get started working on some of those. But people asked for Speechless and I made a tutorial for you, so hopefully you found it helpful. All right, thank you so much and I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.